If you look at the daily chart on the ASX, so what I look at for to identify trends is the 5, 10, and 20-day moving averages. So you've got the 5-day above the 10 above the 20, and heading in an upward direction. So that is the short-term bullish trend. However, having said that, the 5-day is starting to turn lower, and that's suggesting that upward momentum is waning. And it's also moved below the 10-day moving average, which is another warning that a short-term top is forming. Now, if you look back to June, we had a similar formation, where the 5 was above the 10, the 10 was above the 20. But when they crossed and the price fell below the 20-day moving average, we just went sideways. We had corrective sideways trading pretty much for the whole month of July. I suspect we're going to see that again. I think that if we break below the 20-day moving average, we may have already. That's at 7,481. I haven't seen the price very recently, but if we break below the 20-day moving average at 7,481, that will confirm to me that a short-term top is in place, and that we're going to see more of that sideways consolidation. So I think if you move to the next chart, which I have up, there you go. Now that's still a daily chart, but that's the 50, 100, and 200-day moving averages. So that, again, the 50 is above the 100, the 100 is above the 200. So that's a medium-term trend high that we've seen. Now, we've been below the 50-day moving average, if you look back to the beginning of that chart, on numerous occasions. But we've never, ever gone below, in this whole medium trend high, we haven't gone below the 100-day moving average. It's held every time. And then after a period of consolidation, we've gone to a fresh all-time high. So the 50-day moving average comes in at 7,375. I wouldn't be surprised if we test and break that in this current move. I just think there's a loss of momentum, and similar to what we saw at the end of June, I think that we could have a period of sideways corrective consolidation. And the key is whether it goes below the 100-day moving average, which comes in at today comes in at 7,209. Now, if we did that, I would say that we're in for a deeper correction. We're in for, a more serious correction rather than that sideways consolidation. And we could go back and test the 200-day moving average, which today comes in at 6,938. And the 200-day moving average happens to be about 9% lower than the all-time high that we put in the other day at 7,362, 7,632, I should say. And typical of when we have a very strong move like we've seen in the ASX and all equity markets around the world, a 10% correction is almost to be expected at some stage during that trend higher. So I would be very careful on this one. I mean, so many people have predicted, here comes the correction, it's going to be 10 or 20%. That's on this whole move higher, we've heard that. But I think what you need to see is a move below that 100-day moving average at 7,200 or 7,209. And then you probably have to prepare for that close to 10% correction and that move to the 200-day moving average. So whether we're at an inflection point or not, we'll find out probably in the next week or two.